All right, y'all, we got some of these hex lights, and they're kind of fun to put in the bedroom, I guess, or whatever, for some mood lighting. Let's just go set them up real quick and see how they do. All right, this thing's a little bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is great. And what's cool is you don't have to do this configuration. You could do like 2 different sets of lights, and the power pack will control both of them if you want it to. You could also use an app to control these things. Let's get out of the disco. Actually, I'll show you a couple of the disco light modes. There's like a million different modes you can make this thing do, and you can speed up the light changes, slow them down. If you get the app, you can like do your own custom colors, because right now you got red, green, blue, yeah, a couple different colors, and then just white, which is what we'd be using in the garage. And then you can turn it up and down, so you can turn it up and down how bright the light is. And the cool thing I think would be, you know, just doing this on the app. So there's the brightest mode. All right, so how these basically work is you've got a bunch of these connectors. They look like that. And your lights just slip in here. All your electrical's in here. It's enclosed. You don't have to worry about touching these and getting shocked. Everything's enclosed within these connectors. And so you have your 3-sided ones, and then you have some ends. So I won't completely bore you just watching me set these things up, but basically the way they work is you see there's some electrical connections on the end of these. These are pretty lightweight. You don't have to worry about straining yourself to install this light. And these connectors just hook into the ends. And there's a little tab here that kind of retains them. Very simple. You can see there's little screw holes here if you want to screw these directly into the wall, or we can hang them or whatever. Very, very simple installation process. They do give you some zip ties here if you want to just zip tie them up. They do give you a bunch of screws and stuff, which is probably a good way to go. There's some clips in here you can use to clip onto the back of the light if you're not using these screw holes. So these little clips right here just clip right onto the back of the light. So you could put a screw through here and then just clip it on there if you want to do that. They do give you a bunch of screws and drywall anchors as well. I find it's really easy to use them like this if you're only using a couple, because you don't need a lot to hold the weight of this, or just throw some zip ties through these holes, you know, whatever you want to do. Power-wise, here is what does the business of giving you power. So just plugs into a wall. You do have to have a ground. You got little notches here if you want to screw it into the wall. And then here are some power connectors. So those would connect right into an end like that. So really, really simple, easy setup. This is pretty forgiving if you mess up, because they do give you an instructions showing you how to set these up. But you know, if you put on one of these connectors backwards or in the wrong spot or whatever, they just pop out. It's not super hard to do, which is nice, because you know, if you're like me, sometimes, you know, you're not paying attention.